Okay, lawn fans, you ready? So let's talk about misapplication of PGR, plant growth regulators. What is a PGR? Without getting all technical, basically you put it out on your yard and it will slow the upward growth of your grass, meaning you don't have to cut as much. It'll encourage the lateral growth of your lawn spread sideways and your roots to go down deeper. So what I did is, before I had some damage done to my yard, you'll see kind of a line right there where a guy came and pressure washed the driveway. His hose burned into my yard. Well, prior to that, I put out PGR on the lawn because I wanted to slow the upward growth of it. I wanted to push it outwards and push the roots down to minimize the amount of time that I'm having to cut the yard, but also to help with it holding water during the summer, the roots holding the water, and encouraging a deeper green color and fullness in the yard. What happened is that instead of putting my first application out at 0.20 or 0.25, I put 0.50 out, which was way too much. And so it gave a bronzing effect to my yard, yellowing effect. And so if you'll look here at some of the leaves or grass blades, you'll see a yellowing effect on the tips of it. It's nice and full, the whole yard is, but it's also got a bronzing effect. And I'm not sure if that'll pick up for you guys or not. In the thumbnail, I'll try to make a picture of how bad that it does look on these leaf blades. But that is what happens, and down through here, if you over apply PGR. I just put too much in my tank sprayer. So what do I do? Nothing. I came out here, I came out here yesterday and I applied a Tractor Supply fertilizer that's a 15% nitrogen with 6% iron. And then I also, in my tank, when I did the PGR, I put in 8 ounces per 1,000 square feet of iron, trying to combat this, but it was just too much. Now, if you look here and look to my neighbors, you'll see the effect of too much PGR, which is nice green grass. Now, this part right here didn't get leveling done on it, but his lawn company, Chempro, if you're in Northwest Georgia, Chempro is a really good company. They came out and they put down a application of nitrogen for the upcoming holidays, so I'll have a nice green yard. But look at that line right down there. Now, what we did over here is we leveled his front yard, and you'll take a look and you can see on his yard, it's nice and green coming in, and it is level now. I've come in here and I've raked this for him, and I've gone over it once with my rotary lawnmower, and it is smooth. Now, there's not a whole lot of dips or anything, but the next process or application he'll have to do is just gonna be a spot leveling. But that's what we look like on his yard. It's about 6 days after leveling. Right there, it's coming in nice. And then over here in my yard, I'll show you 6 days after spot leveling. Remember, that wasn't a complete lawn level top dressing. This was just spot leveling here in my yard. And my deepest areas, I'll show you here in a minute. But my deepest areas, this one's probably 50% recovered right here. This one was the deepest, and I would say I'm probably in between an inch to an inch and a half deep right here, and that's pretty deep for leveling. But I just decided to go ahead while I had the sand and get it done. And then up here, I'm about 50%, maybe 40, closer to recovering. And that's 6 days in. Before I put the sand down, I put out a fertilizer 3208. And then over here, we're coming back in now. This over here, I did not over apply the PGR in this area, and you can see, I can see, and I'm not sure if my camera's picking this up, but it is a lot darker and lusher of a green. Looks really good over in here, but it also gets afternoon shade, which helps to maintain the moisture in the soil, versus over here is sun pretty much all day long. So the takeaway from this is, when you're applying a PGR, this is Primo Max out here. When you're applying a PGR, make sure that you are looking up on the internet for the type of grass you have. There's different application rates for things like common Bermuda, this hybrid Bermuda. If you're doing fescue, if you're doing zoysia, bent grass, anything like that, it's not all the same for every grass. Every grass has a different application rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep pounding this with the water. I'm going to keep cutting it regular. It's going to grow out, and as the growing gets out closer to a month from the date that I apply it, then I'll start to see that green color coming through, and then I'll go in with a lower application rate of probably 0.20, 0.25 for my Bermuda grass. And that's it. It didn't kill it, just stunted it a little bit, miscolored it with that bronze effect. But you don't mess up with Bermuda. It'll keep growing. So that's it for today. Just an update, a little talk about PGR. Bermuda Brine, out.